Hello and welcome to Public Administration 460, Administration and Public Policy Development with SDSU Global Campus. Thank you all for choosing to take this course and this major, and we're going to try to make it as painless as possible, I promise. Just a note, every week, which corresponds with the module, so you have week 1 is module 1, week 6 is module 6. I will be putting together a very short video to go over what is expected for the week and offer lots of tips like I'm doing right now. This would be for module 1. Included in this brief video is also just a very general overview of the course. So as you can see, I'm sharing my screen here. And when you get in, this is what you are going to see in Canvas. Something that I like to do usually is just hit modules, and it just makes it easier. You're seeing a little bit more than you would see on your screen because it's the instructor screen. But when you hit modules, it goes to the different modules. It also goes to immediate access. This is for your book, the textbook for the course. And you also have information here about your instructor. You can read that little blurb. There's introduce yourself. And this you can just write in, tell us about yourself, where you're from, your background in education, as well as the criminal justice field or any other field. You have the link for the ebook. I have a couple different links and where you can buy the textbook if you're not using immediate access. And of course, Canvas resources, as well as the first module. So you see module 1 is Introduction to Public Policy. And every module, most every module is going to be very, very similar. I try to keep it consistent so that you know what's expected each week. So for module 1, we have an overview, and that's going to be for every module every week of this very short semester that goes by very quickly. So we click on overview, and it gives you your weekly learning objectives. This video will be added to the module right here under learning activities and between learning activities and weekly learning objectives. And this will just give you an idea of what's expected for the week. So I'm going to go back. And you will see the module has a part 1 and part 2. And these correspond with the chapter in the text that is required each week to be read. So every week, with the exception of week 4, module 4, and week 8, module 8, you will be reading 2 chapters in the text. I know that's a lot, but the chapters are not very long. They're pretty easy reads, and we have to do that in order to compress this course into the 8-week format. So as you will see this week, you have the reading. That's the first thing to do. So read the chapter 1, Public Policy and Politics, first. Once you've read that, you can go through here, and this is a summation with some other information thrown in, as well as different videos that you will see. And your concepts, definitions are all going to be here. These are good ways to review the material after the reading. The reading gives you, more of a contextual exposure. This is more of a streamlined, succinct presentation of the material. So you will go through here, you are responsible for watching these videos. None of the ones within the modules are very long. And then you'll get to, in the first 3 weeks, we have 3 major concepts that we're trying to get through that are going to be used throughout the course. So for example, market failures. And so with market failures, you're going to see the list here within the module, but you're also going to see download the market failures document. So for this week, it's important to download this document so that you can use it when you're doing the market failures exercise, because you will not be able to go back and forth within Canvas. Once you start the exercise, that's it. The exercises are not very difficult. I give you enough time to, use the cheat sheet, the market failures document, review that while you're taking the exam. I just want you to be able to apply that knowledge. So we'll go back to modules here. And you will see the part 1, the part 2, again corresponding with each chapter, make sure you read through those. And if there's any documents to download, that you do download them, especially before exercises or tests or quizzes. The other component for the week, and this will be most every week, actually this will be every week, is a discussion. And this is a discussion with the group where, in this case, this week we're watching TED Talk, We the People and the Republic We Must Reclaim. And you will watch the video, and then you're going to answer a very short essay question, just looking 10 to 15 sentences maximum. Not looking for flowery language or opinion, just objectively answer the question. So for the most success for your discussion post, make sure you're addressing all the elements of the question. So this week it's, what are the conflicting dependencies described in the TED Talk? And how might this conflict lead to the corruption of representative democracy? So very specific what it's asking for. You don't have to go into long soliloquies about the decline of Western civilization. Just make sure you're taking things that were presented in the video. You don't have to agree with all of them, and then responding. This way I know you've actually watched the video and are able to glean what you need to from the presentation. After that, you will have to respond to a fellow student's post. And that's 1 point. And that's going to be much shorter, 5 to 6 sentences, where you compare and contrast what your response was with theirs. Now, here's the thing. You will not have access to anyone else's post until you post yourself. So you're not going to be able to look at several posts and just kind of summarize in your own words to make that your post. You will not have access to that. So you have to put your posts in. Once you do that, then you will have access to the other posts. So that is the discussion that's due on Thursday of this upcoming week. And everything I put due 11:45, just to, before midnight, obviously. But 11:45 is the due date. If you don't get it in time, you will not get credit for the assignment. So now we have exercise 1 for this week, and that's on market failures. So you've gone through the material, you've read the 2 chapters, and hopefully you've downloaded the market failures document, which is within the Canvas. And you can use that while you take the market failures exercise, which is matching certain scenarios with the appropriate market failure. Finally, and you can do this whenever, you don't have to do it at the last minute. You can do it Monday, Tuesday, whatever in the week, that's fine. The reading quiz, this is on chapters 1 and 2. And it's important to actually read the material because some of the questions relate specifically to what's in the text. And this is just to make sure that people are reading through, at least, kind of skimming through most of the chapters in order to gain the valuable contextual information around some of these topics. If you don't, you probably won't do too well on the reading quizzes. Now, with that in mind, you do have a little bit of extra time, 20 minutes for 10 questions, where you could go back and double check certain things with the text while you're taking the quiz. I don't mind that. My goal is you learn the material. However, if you don't read it before, you might not have enough time to go back for each question and get the proper answer. So that's just a warning ahead of time. So that is it for this week. Next week, I'll post a video before Module 2, and we'll go over that. Make sure to read the first 2 chapters in the text. Make sure to review Part 1 and Part 2 modules. Download the market failures document, which is in the Part 1. And make sure your discussion answers the question from the TED Talk. And I will see you next week. And once again, thank you for being part of this course, and look forward to a great semester.